iReader is a very interesting company. They seem to fly under the radar a little bit, but having a bigger impact in the e-reader industry than most people are actually aware of. They've had several generations of the smart note-taking tablets, including tons of regular e-ink devices. They offer white label services to other companies like FaceNote. Personally designed the triangle white stylus for the Onyx Books Max 13.3, and yes, they even manufacture the nibs for the Remarkable 2. Earlier this year, they released the Smart XS, which absolutely decimated the Kindle Oasis pound for pound. Also this year, iReader released 3 brand new Wacom pens, making them the second largest manufacturer for digital stationery. So there is actually more than meets the eye with this interesting company. The XS Pro brings even more features to the Smart line, including a note-taking layer with some of the lowest latency we've ever seen. So let's take a look at the iReader Smart XS Pro. Starting off the dive into the actual UI, this is only in Chinese, and you will only find some English in the developer options, so the entire thing is basically 100% Chinese. That doesn't mean that the content you put in is going to conform to that, because it most certainly doesn't. Anything you sideload in is going to be that respective file's language. So unfortunately, 80% of the device we're going to glance over because there aren't any useful features to us. There's WeChat integration, but you need a mainland Chinese phone number. There's some other integrations like JD and a whole bunch of other social media link accounts and ways to sign in and synergy, but we can't take advantage of any of that. So we're going to be focusing on more of the hardware and the side-loaded content, as well as note-taking. In an ebook, the screen real estate is very nice on this very large screen, and you can press and hold the side buttons to speed through the book. It's not as fast as, say, an Amazon or a Kobo is going to do it, but it is decent. You can also go back by pressing the top button, and it will change based on which way you rotate it. Yes, you can, of course, swipe, and you can press the middle of the page if you want to bring up all the options, including table of contents, notes, and of course fast navigation. So if you wanted to speed through the book, you could do that. Again, anything you sideload is going to be the respective language of the content. For example, we put in English books, it's going to be English. It's not going to change it into Chinese or anything like that. However, when you long press something, you're going to have some trouble. So unfortunately, you're going to have to use AR or Google Lens to translate all this as you go. It is easy enough to do with modern smartphones, but it is just one extra step. As you can see here, it instantly translates if you hover over secondary devices to do your translating needs, but it's a little inconvenient, we must agree. Another cool thing you can do on ebooks is, even on side-loaded content, you can take advantage of the full palette. All 5 pens, thicknesses, and 6 different colors right on EPUBs. So you can take a highlighter with a light gray, for example, and you can highlight exactly what you want to keep as your very important passage, and it's going to gray out everything. You can also take advantage of the floating ball on the side, and this will open up a bunch of things like edits, turn the glow light off and on, kind of like your fast key. A sad thing about this unit is that when you buy it, they don't give you a stylus, which is really weird because iReader is the second largest manufacturer of digital stationery for e-paper devices. So we're going to crack out an X Pen. Now granted, the peripheral pens are not very expensive, but that's not the point. They don't give you one in the box, which is very strange. You can start writing right away, and iReader has some of the best tips and writing experience. It's not the best, but it is definitely up there. PDFs are fantastic, it's really fast, and they look great, and the note-taking is top-notch. There's a lot about this from a hardware perspective that makes this a viable note-taking unit. It's also a very large screen, which means you're going to fit a lot of stuff on here. Pinching and zooming is also very surprisingly fast. Even some of the big boys don't do pinching and zooming. Now, there's no overall system-wide A2 mode, so you can't speed it up any more than it is, but to be completely honest, in its base form, this is a very fast experience that we've seen on ebook readers outside of e-notes or tablets with e-paper screens, etc. This is an ebook reader, first and foremost, and the Wacom layer they put over is just a pleasantry. Manga as well looks fantastic on this unit, and it's right around the same screen size you are to expect if you were to buy physical manga from the store. It looks really good, and it acts very much like a PDF in that you can do pinch and zooms, etc. But honestly, the screen size is more than capable enough that you don't have to change anything. You just have to worry about the formatting when you sideload your content. For example, this one that we downloaded wasn't centered very well, but the quality is quite good. In terms of what this unit can process, it can process quite a bit. You can put your Word documents in your text, you can put pictures in your gallery like that, you can put music files in the music player. You can use this as a music player. It's got 32 gigs onboard storage, only 23 usable. You can put anything you want on here and just use it as a blank slate and craft your own experience. iReader preloads a bunch of backgrounds, including already predetermined flowcharts, scripting, task lists. A whole bunch of things are preloaded in there. You can practice your Chinese, draw music notes, create your symphony. This thing is actually preloaded with some of the most complex and intricate backgrounds we've ever seen. iReader makes their own digital stationery and nibs and everything in-house, so like we said at the beginning of this video, iReader actually manufactures the tips for the Remarkable 2. Granted, the one in the X Pen that we're using today isn't that one, but it is still very nice. It has a fairly sticky experience, more on the side of a Bigme and a Stadler, but it works well with the very crispy screen, and what I mean by that is that there's a lot of grit in the screen. This is the pen palette. So you get 5 different pens, you get 6 different shades of gray and blacks and whites, one of which is white, which is basically just the eraser, and you get 3 default thicknesses, although it does have pressure sensitivity and it does have the ability to alter the thickness for each individual grade as well. Deeper, you can press the add button, in which case you can enter text, recordings, or different colors, styles of writing like mosaics, and shapes as well. This has a microphone, so I'll record something right now on this notepad. This has a microphone, so I'll record something right now on this notepad. Long time, so they're no stranger to glow lights. Now they have a very purple hue to their blue, so it's not the best. You kind of have to find that middle ground, and you can change the blues and the, or I should say the cools and the warms respectively by moving these. There's also some presets, so you can press these and it will change automatically based on certain elements, so what the time of day is, etc. It doesn't have a light sensor on board, so it's gonna have to be night, day, white, or time of day, and it will conform automatically. Otherwise, you can use the slider bars to change your experience. Is the iReader XS Pro an Oasis killer? Yes, absolutely it is. It is better than the Oasis. Is it a fairly expensive Chinese language only clone of the Oasis? Yes, absolutely it is. But companies always copy other companies, and that doesn't change what this is. This is, objectively, a very powerful, very expensive, very premium note-taking device. It's fully loaded with audio, glow light, and all the power you ever need to run anything side-loaded or not. It's not going to make any top lists, but it almost feels like it should. For GoodyReader.com, this is Peter.